Capitalism is colonial and colonialism is capitalist. In this video, I will talk about these two interrelated phenomena. Hi, I'm back. My name is Noorita Roy Choudhury. I have a PhD in Law and Development. Why is capitalism colonial? In the previous video, I mentioned that economic growth is a central feature of capitalism. In that, growth is the heartbeat of capitalism. And for capital to remain capital as such, it needs to constantly grow through processes of extraction, expropriation, and dispossession. So, if you read the European origin of the capitalist system, you will come across the enclosure movement that happened in the late 15th century in Britain that resulted in the mass eviction of rural peasants from their means of production. And what are these means of production? Their land and labor. So ultimately, why capitalism is colonial is because of its imperative of growth that requires continuous processes of primitive accumulation, seeking free or cheap land, labor, resources, and lives that can be extracted, legally stolen, or expropriated, ultimately dispossessing people of their basic living conditions. Now coming to what I understand by colonialism is capitalist. Simply put, the capitalist market system was shoved down the throats of the racialized people through the process of colonization that led to the mass and ongoing dispossession of indigenous, black, and other peasant and marginalized communities from their land, from their culture, leading to the erasure of other ways of understanding markets and also relating to the world. It obliterated local and community-based market systems that relied on values of reciprocity, local production for local consumption, and collective well-being. So ultimately, what I mean by colonialism is capitalist is that its logic of constant economic growth requiring the violent separation of people and labor from basic means of production was imposed through colonial expansion. And capitalism is not a timeless economic system, but rather a recent one that was imposed through colonization. If you have any constructive feedback, please do so with dignity and care. You will receive the exact amount of dignity you give me. If your comments are dumb, anti-intellectual, racist, sexist, in the form of statements or jokes, I will simply block you or send you for an IQ test. Anyway, that's it. Peace. Bye.